Hi, I'm Dukwasity Dean. I help ordinary people organize their lives so that they can achieve even the most impossible dreams. As a leader, it is extremely important for me to continue on my growth journey, which is why I have engaged the services of several coaches. Yes, you heard me correctly, several coaches. As a leader, it is my death to become stagnant, to not continue to be stimulated, to not learn new things, to not grow and develop. Leadership requires a constant growth journey. And as you assess the leaders in your environment, or if you are a leader yourself and you'd like to be honest about your assessment, when you think about how you've grown over the course of the last few months, what's been the difference in your life? Have you read a stimulating magazine that perhaps opened your mind to new thoughts and ideas? Have you taken a trip to a foreign destination where you learned a new culture and was stimulated by the food, the scents, and the sounds of that environment? Have you taken a course to help you learn a new skill, perhaps cooking, perhaps cake baking? Because growth does not require you to continue growing in just one area. Growth only requires that you continue to be stimulated. As a leader, a lot of times we focus on goals. And yes, at the beginning of every year, we sit down and write out our goals and resolutions. And that is great. It is a great starting point. However, as leaders, we must also shift our focus from being so goal-oriented to now becoming growth-oriented. And that allows us to be flexible in how we grow. And so our goals are there to keep us on the pathway. But as leaders, our focus is actually overall growth and development. And sometimes it's easy to get discouraged and distracted when our goals do not become realized, or when we fail, or when we have situations that seem like we just cannot get past them. And we can get derailed if we're not focused on the journey. The journey is simply an indication that it's an ongoing process. We fail, we win, we learn, we start, we stop, we start again, but we continue, which is why it's called a journey. As a leader, we cannot be stomped when our goals fail. We must focus on the fact that it's a journey to getting the ultimate success that we desire for our lives. As you begin to shift your focus from being so goal-oriented, you'll come to realize that you start to change. Your mind opens to new possibilities. You're able to take advice. You're able to learn new information and translate it into your own life. And as your mind expands, so does your capability to connect with the teams that you lead and drive. As you continue to grow and develop, your growth takes you beyond the goal, and you begin to have more success than you realize because you begin to accomplish your goals in a more holistic view. Being a growth-oriented leader makes you responsible because it is your responsibility to continue to grow. And there are simple things that I do. I read travel magazines. I read camping magazines. Now, to be honest with you, I am never going to be in the woods, laying under a tent, thinking about a big bear coming at me. But it's so interesting to read the stories of those who enjoy that activity. And as I read those stories, my mind visualizes an open woods, the fresh air, the greenery of the trees, and the togetherness of those who are camping. And so I feel those sensations even though I'm not in that environment. And so growing could be something as simple as reading a magazine. It could be something as simple as visiting an island or visiting another destination where there's a foreign language that stimulates you to understand what's being said, or cultures that you can participate in so that you have a new learning growth activity. And so a leader requires constant growth. When we become stagnant, the same thing happened to us that happens to stagnant water. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about stagnant water before. When water becomes stagnant, it stinks. It has an absolutely foul odor. And as leaders, we begin to stink. In stagnant water, we find insects hatching. There are tadpoles and other yucky stuff happening in that bucket of stale water. And as leaders, we begin to have those sorts of things inside of us bubbling beneath the surface if we're not on a continuous growth journey. So don't take it for granted that you've reached the pinnacle of your success as a leader. Even the greatest leaders in the world continue to grow. They read constantly. They attend seminars and workshops. They just do not stop. And I'm going to encourage you not to stop your growth journey. If you're interested in learning how you can continue your growth journey so that you become the type of leader that can set a great example, call me at 424-6012 or register for one of my upcoming courses at duquessadine.com.